our program, and we have tremendous respect for Stanford, and they've led the way in our sport for many years, and we knew they'd be tough tonight, and I thought there was a few areas that we were a little bit below our standards, covering being one. But the single biggest thing we wanted to do was be the long rally transition team, and the last time I checked, we won that battle pretty substantially. And so I think that was probably the biggest difference in the match. And the two women sitting next to me, weren't very happy with their connection a couple of games ago, and have really been working hard, on their timing in practice. And I think all that hard work paid off tonight.
Coach, how good does it feel to have this type of performance on a national broadcast like ESPN?
I just think anytime you're playing, the more eyes on it is just an opportunity to prepare for the tournament. So it feels good, but truthfully, anytime we're playing this good of an opponent, getting a win feels pretty good.
Olivia, the block was very active tonight. You guys had 13. You and Tori each added a solo block. What was just going so well for you guys, especially with how good of a hitting team Stanford is?
I feel like we really emphasized the idea on not letting your first time be your first time. So we scouted them really well, and I feel like going into this game, I felt like I had already played against these hitters. So it was just very comfortable, and we had a good assignment. I feel like we all executed it very well.
And in fact, you have. No, wait, you're an age group younger than USA. Okay. So this was your first time. You've played against these guys a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, my focus is on timeouts. There were two 3-0 runs that Stanford got away with. After each you called a timeout. And then right after those timeouts, you won those points. What do you say in those timeouts when you lost the 3-0 run?
I don't remember each one specifically, but they're a team that serves really tough, and it's a part of it is just try to throw the server off rhythm and hope they miss the next one. Another part is just for us to regroup, and I don't think there was anything inspirational I did, but against a good team, I think they're truly just timeouts. They're just like, hey, let's take a breath and come back and lock in on the task.
Rachel, Coach was telling me on Friday you had a different mindset coming into practice this week after the loss to SMU. I guess after these two wins, how do you think the team has responded after that loss?
Yeah, I think a couple days after the loss, we kind of let it affect us a little bit too much. But then still on the way up. And then after a couple days, we really locked in and I think used it to our advantage. Mostly just giving full effort 100% of the time.
I want to ask you guys about Ryla's joust with Cami Minor, a freshman going head-to-head with as solid of a senior as there is out there. Well, you guys had a huge reaction. What was that like to see her do that?
That was amazing. I don't even know what I expected out of that play, but the fact that she pushed the ball so hard that Cami ended up on the floor was pretty impressive. I was proud of her. We work on jousting a lot, so I think the way she was able to execute was good. Yeah. We do in practice, we do some drills for moments like that. So I think just to see her execute it in game was cool.
Olivia, you love being in some environments. What was it like today?
I think it was great. The environment was just, I don't know, I know we had the same amount of people as Friday, but the environment just felt so much more electric today. But I think that's because everyone just had such good energy throughout, and then I feel like it definitely reflected onto the court. We all had the same energy as the crowd, I think, and that's why we were able to find success because we were just having fun and just being loud.
Olivia, you had 36 swings today. Do you ever get tired of you have so many swings, or do you just want more of it?
Oh, more. I love it.
Rachel, I know you probably don't listen to the chatter that much, but there's a lot of chatter about Cami Minor being the best setter in the nation or whatever. You came out 35 assists, one dig short of a double-double. What was going well for you today, especially coming off of your performance last week?
Yeah. Chatter, I really don't. But I've played with Cammie. She's a wonderful person and player. So, like, playing with her, learning from her, learning from each other is... Because I feel like our styles are pretty different. So, but it's, like, it's just super, like, it's an opportunity to be able to play with her. But I think that... Yeah, my job as a setter, I mean, I say this a lot, but, like, our hitters make it so easy for me. Like, I feel 100% of the time I have everyone available and everybody wanting the ball, so I feel like I can't go wrong.
Coach, your team held Stanford to below 100 this game. Why do you think that is, and what was different?
Well, I do think we had. I think we started probably number one with Liv matched up against Elliot Rubin, and that was a very good matchup for us. She's one of the best hitters in the country. Liv was able to make her very uncomfortable. So I think anytime you can really affect someone's best hitter, that helps. And then I think I think we had. I feel good about how we prepared. I think Rachel said that earlier, but that was Liv. But I think we watched them a little earlier than we normally do in the week, so I think our team just felt really comfortable with what they wanted to do.
Coach, this is your sixth ranked win of the season, all of them in sweeps. I mean, outside at the SMU on the road, I mean, what's allowed your team to have such good success against some of the best teams in the country?
Just how we're training every day in the practice gym. Number one, the desire for perfection that everyone has. This group is better than any team I've had in terms of wanting to be great all the time. And so when they're flat and I push them, they want it. And I think when we're at our best, we're pretty tough.
Rachel, you've been friends with Bree for a while, but now she's getting her whole full season of ACC play. In the last all ACC games, she's had 5 blocks or more. What's it like to see her doing this? And
Yeah, she's a powerhouse in the middle, I think. And for all of our middles, it's awesome to have her leading the troops, just showing them the job of a middle. And also, we've also been working on our connection a lot, and it's on the up.
Coach, how important do you think your back row play has been to why you guys have held teams to, I guess, a lower hitting percentage than they would obviously expect?
Really important. And I think we're probably, in my mind, the most underrated back row defense in the country, mostly because we don't have as long of rallies. So our digs per set numbers don't look as high as teams that tip a lot. But in terms of opportunity and open net, hard driven, swings, I'd put us up against anyone.
Coach talked about this a little bit, but ladies, for you, this is Pitt's first ever win over Stanford in program history. What is it like to be, I know you guys are making history often on this team, but what does that mean with especially how big of a powerhouse Stanford is?
Yeah, I think traditionally, I feel historically, volleyball has been a group of 8 main teams, and Pitt as a school and as our volleyball team, we're just really fighting to show that we belong. So I think that this just beating them, and also the ACC is better than it ever has been. So I think we've had a lot of games to prepare for a team as good as Stanford, and we were able, they both said, we've prepared a lot for this team and felt comfortable enough to execute.
More sort of holistically speaking, it feels like a really historic season for Pitt, and I'm curious how you guys think about that in terms of the culture of volleyball and what Pitt is about to do. It almost feels very goosebumps, a big historic moment.
Well, you're firing me up to sing that. And so that means a lot as an outsider coming in, and we feel it's a special team culture what we're trying to do is really hard. We know it is, but you know, we think we have the group to do it.
Coach, I mean, after playing all the new ACC, I guess the new ACC teams in SMU, Stanford, and Cal, do you still believe that this is probably the best conference in the country?
Yes.
Coach, you were talking about back row play, the importance in defense, but I also feel like this team's really good at covering the ball off the block. What makes this team so good at that?
Well, I didn't think we were tonight. So, but generally speaking, we have, and I've mentioned this before, we have a huge goal of being what we call the best small ball team in the country. So what is small ball? That's covering, that's weird dinosaur plays off the net, that's a ball out of the net, that's a non-setter setting. And so we want to be the team that has the least amount of loose plays on the board, and so we work on it. And I think we were probably charging in a little bit too much on some of the swings, and and some of the covers were going a little deeper than normal, and it hurt us on a couple. But not only do we practice it, but we also, it's how do I say this? Cultural. Like we want to play an aggressive brand of volleyball. So if I'm asking our hitters to take these big swings over their shoulder into a triple block, then we need to be good at that.